Hello and welcome to Rainbow Stars channel, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of an update. As you can tell, I am feeling a whole lot better. Recently I have been taking those, ignore that please. I forgot that was in here actually. I've been having pregnancy brain really bad, so like it's really hard to keep up with stuff. So we're just gonna turn a little bit this way because I'm uncomfortable. Oh goodness, okay. Here we go. So I've been feeling a whole lot better because I've been on the iron pills, so that's helping me with my anemia. And I'm a lot less tired and fatigued, so that's good. I'm getting my pep back. But I still have headaches, probably due to blood sugar. I need to get in and do that 3-hour exam to kind of see where I'm at on that. But otherwise, I'm doing a lot better with me being able to speak and being more cognitive. I still mess up every now and again, and sometimes I still do get really tired out of nowhere and listless, but it's not as bad as it was, and I can see an improvement after being on this medication for about a week. And I'll tell you what, the insurance actually covered it. Let me tell you this story. So I went in to get my medications, and they were explaining that, oh, it would be $212. And even now, my mind is blown by that number. I'm like, $212? No. Anyway, so $212 later, I'm just kidding. I didn't pay for it. I asked them, is there any way we can bring down the price? I showed them the coupon. They said, oh, it would knock off maybe $100. But that, it would still cost out of pocket a pretty hefty fine. And I was like, well, if we could bring it down more, that'd be great. The lady tried to accommodate me. I explained my situation. She understood, so she kept trying to find out what to do on that. And so there is that, which is awesome. And so where am I? What am I doing? Crap. See, this is what I mean by pregnancy brain. You get you get sidetracked by the littlest of noises. I heard a dog outside barking, and I still got to clean up around here. I fell behind because of my hip being injured, and laundry got a little out of control, but people have seen that pattern in me for a long time. I'm not physically well. I injure myself almost on the daily, and when I'm not injured, I suffer from body-wide pain anyway. And it gets to the point where my room can get a little out of control and behind, and I just need to catch up. And that's not an excuse, I promise. It is a legitimate problem of mine. And being pregnant has not helped me at all. Whenever I suffer physically, I suffer mentally. So accompanied with the injuries and the pain comes in with depression, anxiety. Obviously, who wouldn't be anxious if they had like clothes thrown around everywhere in multiple different containers and couldn't keep up with nothing, and then felt like they were useless because they're so injured they can't do anything anyway, even if they wanted to. That's the kind of mental spiral I get in, especially whenever I'm in that much pain. So, but I try really hard. My family sees I try, and they appreciate me for what I can do, and don't badger me for what I can't. So even if my space gets all messed up, my snake's space is always pristine. My animals are always well taken care of, and I focus on taking care of other people and animals before myself. It's just something I've always done. So rest assured, even if my room gets behind, baby has a clean nursery all the time. So it's just my space that suffers the most. Everywhere else in the house is pretty much clean. It's just my room that gets behind, and I get super frustrated with myself. But it's something I always try to work on, so along with my physical therapy. But yeah, so onward with the story. I kind of got sidetracked there, like, a lot. I'm sorry if I change arms too a whole bunch. It's just that I'm not My arms are not strong anymore. They're kind of weak. So I keep having to switch. Anyway, so how it went down was that I had this lady trying to accommodate me and trying to help me out the best she could. She finally redid the request through the system, seeing if she couldn't get a hold of my doctor's office or the insurance company. And guess what? The last second, she's like, "Oh, the insurance is covering you. You don't have to pay us anything." $0. I cried. I literally stood there and almost cried. I was like, oh my God, you have no idea how stressful that was when you don't have money or an income and you know, they expect you to pay that much money for something you need to get better. I just couldn't do it. And I was so happy when she said it was free, that my insurance finally went through, that it covered it. It was a wild ride. So I'm glad they did that because I got like the 90-day prescription and I've been feeling loads better after I've been on it for an extended period of time. I'm not still where I'm supposed to be with my energy. I'm still kind of lacking, but I figure give it another week and I'll feel 100% better. Right now I'm feeling loads better anyway. I'm doing better. I'm not as bad as you can tell. I still have pregnancy brain, so I still kind of get sidetracked every now and again if there's a noise or if somebody makes noise or whatever. So there is that. And let's see. I am now 26 weeks pregnant. Baby boy's been more active, especially since I've been on the iron supplements, and so that's always good. I've been doing my best in keeping up with the nursery, getting it prepared, getting it ready for baby boy, and yep, so I'm kind of excited. I still have a lot of decorating to do in there before I do the tour, but that is going to happen later down the road. My baby shower is coming up on the 25th. I have a cake that's going to be made, and that's going to come in. I'm super excited about it. It's a Scamper the Penguin themed cake, which if you've never seen Scamper the Penguin, I can't help you with that. Some people, it was otherwise known as Lolo the Penguin. Anyway, it was something I used to watch all the time as a little girl, and I remember like looking at the mom and the baby, and it was super nostalgic, and it was my favorite film growing up. Very educational and very awesome, so that's always good. I'm actually going to have a powwow later to get all these all these shirts and everything else put away. I just need a little bit of help. I have some stuff in a basket on the floor too, which I'm not showing because it's kind of embarrassing that I'm so behind. But but I've been on bed rest for half of this pregnancy too, so it's kind of frustrating. But yeah, so I'm glad that I'm doing better physically. I still can't rotate my hip in a certain way, but I can get around pretty good. I'm not hobbling as bad as I was, but it still does hurt. So it's like certain positions I just can't get in. So that's going to have to be addressed, I'm sure, during the birthing, that there are just some positions I can't take, and I'm just going to have to baby it the best I can without over babying it, because I don't want to lose the motion. So I'm eventually going to get into physical therapy to accurately do that. I'm still doing physical therapy at home, doing it in my own room, did my research and everything else, but it would be nice to actually get in with a physical therapist. They know more than I do, and they would probably help me work this hip out on the left side over time. So I imagine it's going to be a little bit of a hassle until then. But yeah, so there's always that. And yeah, I'm just doing the best I can with what I got. Both of the cars broke down. Today we were going to run an errand, and my mom's car decided to make a bunch of grinding noises, and then we heard a popping sound, and then the vehicle stopped moving completely. And gotta tell you, I was pretty upset about that, actually. So, yeah, we had to reverse the vehicle because it wouldn't go forward. Nothing we did would make it go forward, but it could go backward. So we just turned it around and drove it backwards to our house. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was pretty comical. But not really, because now we don't have a mode of transportation. My brother-in-law is out of town, so he has his car. My car needs a new battery. So suffice it to say, we have no vehicles. It gave me an anxiety attack. Because what if something happens to my mother, to my sister, me? If something happens, we need a mode of transportation, and we don't have one. We'd have to call an ambulance, and then that's a big problem because nobody can go with you. I'm scared something bad's gonna happen, and that's part of my anxiety, that it could happen to my father. He could drop down dead. It could happen to my mother. She could die out of nowhere. I've been so anxious throughout this pregnancy. It has been insane. So, that's something I've been trying my best to deal with it, but yeah, I have a lot of concerns and worries, and just my mind starts to race about everything all at once, and and there's nothing I can do about it because I'm pregnant, so I can't take anything for it. And, I'm trying medicinal stuff like incense or medicinal oils, stuff like that, like good smelling oils. It doesn't do, it helps a little sometimes, but like it's hard to calm me down once I get going. Let's just put it that way. So I break down and cry often, and I just have a lot of trouble. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting everything going, and hopefully I can get that blood work in soon. Obviously, I've been having trouble getting in to get that done because making appointments is impossible because you call people, but the phones don't work because of COVID-19. So I am so frustrated about this pandemic. I just can't even anymore. I couldn't even like months ago, but now I really can't even. So it's getting bad. I need to go down there again and reattempt to try and get the blood work scheduled, but I have to go in person because the phones don't work. So there's just a lot that goes into this. And now we have the car problem, so that's going to be a few more days, probably even a week before I can get in to do that, because I have more doctor's appointments lined up. The next sonogram's been lined up, the perinatal place, my other OB-GYN, I have her lined up, so I have a lot going on. I also have a nurse that's going to come down, and I'm going to join a program for first-time moms who... it's like an educational thing. They give you information and resources to aid in the first 2 years of the child's life. Let's say my son is developmentally delayed in some way, has a mental issue or whatever. They have testing they can do, and they have resources they have that are free to help me help him, if that makes sense. And I think that's going to be really helpful because I was behind on my speech when I was little, and I don't know how my son's going to come out, so he might come out ADHD like me. I don't know. If that's the case, it could be delayed in some areas and advanced in others. Like, I was running before I could talk, so... but yeah, we're just going to have to see how he ends up, and I just hope he ends up better than me, so... But yeah, so it's been a little bit tough. I am worried about the C-section thing still, but I had a really nice person leave a really, really nice comment, and she is amazing. He or she is amazing. And thank you so much for commenting and taking an interest and being such a support beacon during this difficult time. I really appreciate it because I've been having so much trouble physically and mentally. That really perked me up, especially hearing that even if I have to get a C-section, people know what they're doing, and that people have my best interests at heart, and that they will never do anything that would jeopardize me and my son. So, hopefully we can do an all-natural birth, but we're just gonna have to see. And if I have to do what I gotta do, well, as scary as it is and how frustrating that would be, I would just have to go ahead and do it, and then hope I heal correctly, because my internal body does not like to heal itself. So we're just going to have to see how it goes. But I am very perked up from that comment. Thank you so much. You know who you are. You're amazing. And thank you for being such an online support system for me. Yeah. So we're going to get stuff going, and I'll show you guys the nursery once I'm done with it. Right now it has a bed in there that my dad sleeps on too, because whenever the pandemic started, we moved him back into the house, to keep him safe from getting sick, because he's older. I don't want to say he's old, but he is. He has breathing issues already, and his lungs would not hold out if he caught this disease. So we brought him in to keep him safe, and I'm glad we did. He was also injured at the time, but more on that later. So he's doing better, and we had him in a bed in there with the crib and in the baby's room. Eventually he says he wants to move back out, but I'd rather he stay as long as he humanly can, personally, until the whole pandemic thing is at least settled to some capacity. Because I worry about him. I really do. I need both my parents alive. I can't deal with either one getting ill and ceasing to be. I couldn't do that. So I'm just telling him to err on the side of caution and to stay as long as he thinks he can. And so there's that. Oh, my lawyer. I forgot to update you on that. So I dropped out of the case for baby girl, and I thought it was the best decision for everyone involved, mostly for the child involved. And whenever I did, I thought the expenses would cease to be. I thought, well, my lawyer won't be taking any more money. That's great. I saved up $500 for my last job. At least then I have a little bit of a landfall for whenever my little boy comes. I have a little bit of money. I could spend it on him. I was notified by my bank that my money was gone. That I only had $25, a little under $25 in the bank. And I was so upset. I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe it. And I contacted my lawyer's office because it said that they were the ones that took my money. And I asked them, I said, what's going on? Like, why are you still taking my money? I don't get it. And they told me that I owe them $3,000. Okay, we already paid him $3,000 to buy him, right? To buy the lawyer, the basic fee. So we already spent the $3,000 to get him, and then I spent at least $4,000 of my hard-earned money, because I made $4,000 total from both my jobs that I had worked in 2019. And all that money went to my lawyer or household expenses or wherever. But I could have sworn that most of that went to my lawyer. And so I don't understand how I owe him still $3,000, but I can't pay it. I don't have it. Nobody does. Nobody has that money right now, especially during a pandemic. What I can't believe, I asked them, I said, could you freeze my account? I want to be square with you guys, but you guys got to freeze my account until I go and make money. Because if I'm not making money, then there's no way I can pay you. I'm not going to have my mother do it. She can't. And I'm not going to have anyone else try to bail me out of this. It's my mess. I need to purchase and I need to pay off this man myself. So I'm trying to be a responsible adult about this. But $3,000, I don't have it. I don't have it. You can't take from me what I don't have. So that's upsetting. And that was, gosh, I just can't even. I haven't spent a dime since I lost my job. So I say lost, but it's a complicated situation. I had 2 weeks that I had to work. I signed a documentation for a 2-week notice because I was going to leave that job because it was a terrible place to work. So I was going to leave anyway, but then I got sick and I was so ill that I couldn't get out of bed, and my phones were turned off anyway, so it's not like I could notify anybody about what's going on with me. I couldn't get up out of bed to go to work. I was ill and I was pregnant. So I go to work when I'm scheduled, and whenever I show up, he said he had already replaced me. So the last week that I was supposed to work, he kind of took that away from me because I was a no-call, no-show. But yet he gave this other person 3 no-call, no-shows before firing them. So I don't see what his problem was. I had no means to contact him. But whatever the case, he thought I was slacking off and decided to just cut ties with me. So that was my boss's issue. And so I kind of got fired because I was sick and pregnant. And he knew I was pregnant. And I told him that I had been sick off and on. So when I don't show up, which has never happened before, I've never been a no-call, no-show. I always gave a call, always told him what was up. Whenever I had to go to a hospital or whatever, I'd show him the documentation. I was on top of it. The one time I cannot call, it just made me so mad. So, whatever. So I did lose the job. I literally got fired. My last week I was supposed to work. I should have applied for unemployment. I don't know why I did not. And then whenever I came around to the fact that I could file for unemployment, it was already too late. COVID cases kept sweeping in and I couldn't get a hold of anybody. And then whenever I did, calls would be cut short and they'd give me the runaround and it was just impossible. So now I'm going to try it online and see if I can get it. I don't know if I waited too long. Hopefully I didn't. At least it's something. But no, that whole scenario is just BS. And the fact that I had saved up money for my son and there is a pandemic going on, you would think that a lawyer or anybody would be understanding and stop taking your money, especially if you ask them to. These people said, whenever I asked them, could you freeze my account for now until I get work? Their reply was, we'll talk to your lawyer about that. Excuse me? They're not going to stop taking my money. That's basically what they said. That's the response I get, is that you might be pregnant, it might be your first, this might be a pandemic, you might have health issues, but we don't give a damn. We're going to take your money anyway, and we're going to continue to do so until your bank account is completely empty. And I'm going to call the bank myself, like maybe tomorrow. I'm going to call the bank and tell them straight up, I told these people not to take any more money. Don't let them take my money. Period. Especially if we have another check that comes in. If we have like another security check or whatever that is, some kind of help from the government. If that goes through, that's mine and my son's. That's not going to the lawyers. That's my landfall for diapers, food, clothes. I just can't even with these people. So I'm going to have to go ahead and do that to cut them off completely, because even though I owe them $3,000, it's going to take me a few years to get that. I have a baby that I have to take care of. And my child comes first before anybody. So, I mean, it is what it is. I should have probably fired this guy a long time ago. I probably should have dropped out a long time ago. But I did not. So that's my fault. And I'm going to have to chew on that bone until I reach the marrow, and hopefully I can figure this out. Where I'm going to find $3,000, I don't know. I can't even work at this moment in time, and in the future, I don't even know how long I'll be able to work or hold down a job. I'm just going to have to try my best, but I can't work in any place too physical because it destroys me. I mean, whenever I left my old job, my hands were useless. They were swollen to the point where I couldn't feel them anymore. I had a trigger finger, so my finger kept getting stuck whenever I was trying to do stuff. I was getting carpal tunnel. And it was getting real bad. And I shouldn't have kept at that job. I shouldn't have kept working there as long as I did, but I did because I needed the money. And I had to pay off this guy. And I just, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I have no idea. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure the whole world has financial issues, but that's what's going on with that. So the last bit of my money that I had saved up for him is gone, and I'll have to do what I got to do to protect whatever income I get in the future from this person until I get a reliable job. I don't even know if I can ever pay this guy off. I mean, he might have me wrapped up in so much interest by the end of it, my head's going to spin. I might not ever have this guy leaving me alone, so I don't know what to do other than protect my assets the best I can. Anyway, so the video is long enough as it is. I don't want to keep you guys too late, but I'm doing a lot better. My energy's more up. I actually went for a mile walk the other night with my sister. I was very slow. I had to stop at every single bench to sit down to take a minute, and I can't breathe well when I'm walking. I don't know why. I'm guessing the change in my body is making it harder for me to breathe, but I feel like it is hard to breathe and walk at the same time. It could just be that I'm very out of shape. I don't know. It could also be the anemia, because it's not completely gone. It's just better, if that makes any sense. It'll take a few weeks for me to get back to my normal self, to my complete normal self. So until that time, I'll just have to deal with it the best I can. So anyway, remember, when you view, peace, love, unity, and respect. And be sure to leave a comment down below if you want. And see you guys a different day. All right, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.